On a remote island, a dashing middle-aged man marries a bride 20 years his junior, forcing her into an outdated second-to-hand wedding dress. All because she looks identical to his deceased true love, who also happens to be her biological mother. Masha is clueless about this twisted affair, thinking he's in love with her for real. After the wedding, Ogniev became very controlling, forbidding her to go out alone. She locks herself in the room, refusing to see him as a form of protest. But he doesn't yield. Instead, he deliberately does the opposite. Ogniev throws a wild party to assert dominance, making it clear he runs the show and her freedom means nothing. Watching him flirt with other women, Masha is furious, but she can't do anything about it except smash glasses. What's even more infuriating is that every time they get into bed, he blurts out his dead lover's name. Masha burns with jealousy, unaware that the phantom love of his life is her mother. Fed up with everything, she tries to escape and contacts her ex-boyfriend for help. Unexpectedly, Ogniev overhears their conversation. He finds her ex-boyfriend and beats him severely, breaking his legs to prevent him from coming back to take Masha away. Seeing her son covered in wounds with broken bones, Ira is overwhelmed with grief. Determined to make Ogniev pay, she calls Masha and claims that Ogniev murdered her parents. Masha can't believe the man she loves most could be so cruel. Ogniev insists he's innocent, saying it's all Ira's lies. Masha is torn, not knowing who to believe. In the middle of the night, Ogniev bursts into Ira's home, screaming at her for slandering him. Ira rails at him for maiming her son, blaming all on his lack of love for her. It turns out Ira orchestrated the explosion that killed Masha's parents. She sneaked into the kitchen and sabotaged the gas valve, causing a leak. Driven by jealousy over Katya's place in Ogniev's heart, she harbored a desperate hope. If Katya were gone, maybe he'd finally turn back to her. Upon learning the truth, Ogniev is furious and rants about how Ira killed so many innocents. Her intense emotional state triggers an asthma attack, and she gasps for breath as she pleads for an ambulance. Ogniev turns away, instead, leaving her to her fate. In his view, refraining from killing her personally is the utmost mercy he can extend. Thus, Ira dies of an asthma attack. Her love for a man who did not love her claims her life, leaving the doctor who loved her to weep bitterly. The doctor, struggling with profound grief, informs Borya of the death. Lying in his hospital bed, he loses not only his fiancée, but also his dearest mother. After calming down, Borya tells Masha all the tragic news. Tears instantly pour down her face. Masha had long regarded Ira as her own biological mother. Defying Ogniev's attempts to stop her, she insists on attending the funeral. But during a conversation between the police and the doctor, Masha overhears another shocking piece of information. Police suspect Ogniev may be involved in Ira's death, as someone saw him entering and exiting the premises that night. Masha's heart sinks. After all, she had confronted him about murdering her parents the previous evening, and he'd vanished without a trace, not returning all night. While sorting through Ira's belongings, a photo of Masha's deceased parents slips out. She is shocked to find out that she and her mother look exactly alike. Overwhelmed with questions, Masha hadgers her adoptive mother's friend for answers. The friend finally confesses that her husband once had an affair with her adoptive mother, but left her for her biological mother. Masha suddenly understands why Ogniev looked at her with such deep affection with their first meeting. It turned out that it was her mother he loved all along, and she was nothing but a replacement. Furious, Masha confronts Ogniev to break off their relationship. This is a death blow to Ogniev. He begs her to stay, admitting he initially saw her as her mother's double. But after all this time together, he insists he's fallen in love with the real her. She's the only one he sees now. However, Masha remains unshaken, saying that she will never be with the murderer of her parents. After taking off her wedding ring and throwing it back at him, she lets out the same harsh words her mother spoke years ago.
Я вас ненавижу. Я тебя ненавижу.
For the second time, Ogniev is abandoned by the woman he loves, sinking into endless despair. But misfortune hounds Masha. After leaving Ogniev, Masha discovers that she is pregnant with his child. Thankfully, Borya still embraces her and promises to take care of her for the rest of her life. Once Borya recovers from his injuries, he wastes no time marrying Masha, then returns to the boxing ring to earn a living for their family. 8 months later, Masha gives birth to a pretty baby girl. They never imagine that their every move is under Ogniev's surveillance. During Borya's championship interview, Ogniev learns that Masha has given birth to a daughter and instantly realizes the child is his. One day, Masha enters the hospital ward and is shocked to find the baby gone. She searches everywhere but finds no trace of her child, except for the wedding ring from her marriage to Ogniev lying in the cradle. She falls apart, certain that Ogniev has stolen their daughter, but utterly powerless to track them down. He used to be a cruel gang lord who treated human life as worthless. But after having a daughter, he turned into a doting dad completely wrapped around her finger. Not only does he crawl under the bed every day to play childish games with Catalina, but he also indulges her every whim. Despite this, Catalina still feels unhappy, believing that life is incomplete without a mother. Her father told her that her mother died in a car accident shortly after she was born. Little did Catalina know that this was a lie. In reality, her mother has now formed a new family with Borya and given birth to another well-behaved daughter. Yet Masha finds no joy or happiness in this. Deep down, she can never forget her eldest daughter and wonders where she might be. She's also tired of pretending to love Borya every day, feeling guilty toward her younger daughter. Every night, she dreams of Ogniev snatching her daughter away, tormented by the inability to save her. To soothe her, the sister takes her back to their late adoptive mother's house, recalling those carefree days. While sorting through childhood belongings, Masha finds an unsent letter written by her adoptive mother to Ogniev 27 years ago. The letter confesses her love for Ogniev and how jealousy drove her to sabotage the gas valve that killed Masha's parents. To add insult to injury, Masha discovers Borya read the letter long ago and knew the truth, yet he'd kept her in the dark. Only then does Masha realize she's been deceived. Ogniev was innocent all along. She was horribly wrong, having spent years treating her parents' murderer as her mother. Overcome with remorse, Masha appears on major TV stations to publicly search for Ogniev and their eldest daughter. Hiding on the other side of the globe, Ogniev sees the video quickly, but he won't allow anyone to take his precious daughter from him. Unable to forgive her husband's concealment, Masha leaves with their younger daughter and moves into her sister's home. The sister gifts the girl a beautiful doll and a globe, which sends Masha reeling in shock. Engraved on the globe is the vow she and Ogniev made at their wedding, in his unmistakable handwriting. The sister says she bought it from a boutique near Masha's house. At daybreak the next day, Masha rushes to the boutique. To her astonishment, there are 6 more globes in the same series, 7 in total when including the one her sister bought, and this exactly corresponds to the age of her eldest daughter, who is 7 years old. The shopkeeper tells her that every year a man came to put a doll and globe in the shop, but it was forbidden to sell them. Masha finds each doll's globe marked with different locations. Apparently, this is Ogniev telling her where he has lived. Eager to see her eldest daughter, Masha tells the sister she plans to set out in search. Sister urges her to call the police or take her husband along, warning that Ogniev is dangerous. But Masha refuses, claiming she can't trust them. Sister sees through the excuse at once, pointing out that Masha still harbors feelings for Ogniev. Masha doesn't deny it, and leaves her youngest daughter in her sister's care and departs alone. Unbeknownst to her, another woman is already vying to take her place. Catalina is very fond of her dance teacher and wishes she could be her mother. The teacher, in turn, is drawn to the mature and sophisticated Ogniev. However, he repeatedly turns a blind eye to her advances. After a week of traveling by plane and ship, Masha finally arrives at the tiny island marked on the globe. The intrusion of a stranger puts Ogniev on high alert. When he peers closer, it's the woman he's pined for 7 long years. A storm of emotions sweeps over him as he calls out Masha's name. At the sight of the man she both loves and hates, Masha faints away. When she regains consciousness, she finds herself imprisoned in Ogniev's basement. Tears stream down her face. She fights the urge to wring their tangled past, begging only to see their eldest daughter. But Ogniev refuses flat out. "You didn't even tell me when you were carrying my child. What right do you have to criticize me for keeping our daughter now?" Masha apologizes, admitting she was wrong to doubt him. She recites love quotes from his favorite book, hoping to prove her feelings for him still linger. Ogniev's resolve softens, and they kiss. But as she tries to invade his fortress, he comes to his senses and pushes her hand away. Unforgiving of her past abandonment, he slams the door and storms out. As he exits the basement, his daughter stands at the door. Looking at her father's secretive behavior, Catalina's curiosity is aroused, and she wants to know what's in there. The next day, while her father is out, Catalina sneaks into the study, steals the key, and enters the basement alone. Masha instantly recognizes her long-lost daughter and pounds on the window, shouting in excitement. But the commotion scares Catalina away. Half an hour later, Ogniev returns home and finds the basement door open. A surge of dread hits him. He knows his daughter must have seen Masha. After a frantic search, he spots Catalina on a reef. He understands what's confusing and troubling her. After much deliberation, he doesn't want to lie and confesses to his daughter that Masha is her real mother. To their surprise, Catalina refuses to acknowledge Masha, declaring, "She means nothing to me." Worse still, Masha is heartbroken to learn Catalina wants her dance teacher to be her mother. The next day, the girl invites the teacher over under the pretense of her father's birthday, cleverly leading others away from the house. The teacher has long coveted Ogniev's body. Taking advantage of her drunkenness, she performs a seductive dance, hoping to strike a chord in Ogniev's heart. But Ogniev merely watches coldly, completely unmoved. The teacher finally decides to give up, yet remains curious about how he resists so many temptations. Before leaving, she asks him why he's so heartless.
Мне доставляет удовольствие получать удовольствие от тех, кого я люблю. А ты мне просто нравишься, не более.
At night, for the first time in his life, Ogniev was angry with his daughter, blaming her for not arranging this. But he also understands that all his daughter wants is a mother who truly cares for her. What's wrong with that? At the same time, Masha knows she owes her daughter dearly. In order to get closer to her daughter, Masha accompanies her to the dance and makes Catalina laugh with her clumsy moves. Every night, Masha sits by Catalina's bed, telling stories and professing her love. Though Catalina remains distant, the ice between them starts to thaw. In the bathroom one night, Masha confesses her wrongs to Ogniev, saying she can't live without him. Looking at the woman he loves to his core, Ogniev can't bring himself to hate her. Under the rushing water, they give in to their long-suppressed desires. One day, Ogniev tells Catalina about Masha marrying another man and having another child. He leaves the choice to Catalina, whether to accept Masha as her mother. After much thought, Catalina remains torn. She envies her younger sister for having a mother's company, yet resents Masha for abandoning her father. To Catalina, her father is everything. She can't bear anyone hurting him. So she tells Masha to go back to her old life, rejecting her care. Heartbroken, Masha drags her suitcase to leave, only to meet Borya at the door. It turned out that ever since she left, Borya had been searching everywhere for her. After tracking them down, Borya called Interpol to report Ogniev for child trafficking. Ogniev has been arrested and is now facing imprisonment. Borya takes Masha's hand and tries to get her to come back with him. Instead, Masha slaps him in the face. She admits that she has wronged him and that she only loves Ogniev in her life, and tells him to go back and take care of his little girl. Catalina watches as her father is led away by police, then rushes into the sea in a panic. Ogniev fights the police and tries to jump in to save his baby girl. By the time Masha reaches the shore, the child is nearly submerged. She swims desperately and pulls her girl to safety. Unfortunately, Ogniev is shot in the abdomen during the struggle. He asks Masha to take their daughter and run away, but mother and daughter refuse to leave him. "If you die, we die together." Followed by newfound will to live, Ogniev fights through the pain, crawls to his feet and leads them to a yacht. Seeing that Masha is on the verge of collapse, Catalina calls her mother and encourages her to stay strong. It seems that she has already accepted Masha, but who knows if this family's future holds happiness or more danger. This is Maroon Recap. Check out my homepage and you'll see more recaps of Nothing Happens Twice. I'm hastening to write and edit the next recap, so feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.